What's up guys, Izzy here. A prosperous new year to you all. So I started this channel about 4 months ago, and as of today I have 400 plus subscribers. I'd like to thank each and every one of you for finding my content worthy enough. For this new year, I'm going to focus on improving content, video quality, and consistency. So for today's video, I originally intended it for 31st of December, but here we are. So I made a list of 20 phones which you can purchase right now, which will give you great value under the price of $275. That is 100,000 naira. So if you have a budget below 100,000 naira, maybe $100, $120, there's likely a phone for your budget in this list. I will leave timestamps for each price category so you can just keep to your budget range, so just check the description. And if you also wish to purchase any of these devices, I will leave links in the description box. I did a collaboration video with Valor Reviews, Fred, and other awesome YouTubers. I think you should check that out. I'll leave a link in the description to that video so you can check it out. It's on our favorite smartphones of 2019, so definitely check it out. So let's get to the video, shall we? So should we start with descending order or ascending order? Lowest price? Doesn't matter, I think we should start with the lowest. So for phones under 30,000 naira, that's under $83, I couldn't really find any good phones. Most of the phones were under 2 gigs of RAM, 1 gig of RAM, which I wouldn't really recommend. But I did find one phone with 2 gigs of RAM to 2 gigabytes of storage and a good operating system, and that's a Nokia 2.2. Though it's scarce, if you are able to find it to buy, you can get it for under 30,000 naira, I think about 28,000 or 29,000 naira. It's a nice phone with Android One, full Android One, 2 gigs of RAM, 2 gigabytes of storage, MediaTek Helio A22 processor, and it doesn't have a fingerprint scanner, and it has a removable battery. But those are the only downsides of the phone, and I think that's a nice phone. So for phones under 40,000 naira but above 30,000 naira, that's phones under $110. The first one in no particular order is the Tecno Spark 4. It's a 2.5-inch phone with a triple AI camera, 4,000 mAh battery, which can last over 24 hours on a full charge with average use. It has 2 gigabytes of RAM, 2 gigs of storage, MediaTek Helio A22 processor, and it retails for $34,500. That's just a little under $100, and I think it's great value for that price. The second on our list is the Infinix Hot 8, a phone that is a lot similar to the Spark 4 in design and specifications, except that it has a bigger battery, 5,000 mAh battery. It retails for 36,500 naira. That's just about $100. Next on the list is the Redmi 8A, which retails for 36,500, just like the Infinix Hot 8. It has 2 gigabytes of RAM, 2 gigs of storage, a 5,000 mAh battery. One downside though is it has no fingerprint sensor, but I think some people can live without the fingerprint sensor. It has a Snapdragon 439 processor, unless I forget, it has USB-C. For $100, I say that's a steal. The next on the list is the Nokia 2.3, which was released in early December 2019. It retails for 36,000 naira, and at that price you get a compact design, Android One operating system, 4,000 mAh battery, but no fingerprint sensor, though it has a more advanced face unlock system. This is my favorite for this price range because it's stock Android, neat operating system, little to zero bloatware, and it's Android 10 ready. So for a budget of 40 to 50,000 naira, that's under $140. The first on my list here is the Infinix S5 Lite. It's an Infinix phone with a hole punch display and interesting camera specifications. It has both the 4 gig and 3 gigabyte version, which retails for 46,500 and 42,500 naira respectively. Second, we have the Redmi 8, which is a budget phone with a lot of features worthy of placing it as the best in this price range. At 48,000 naira, you get 5,000 mAh battery, 18-watt fast charging, Snapdragon 439 processor, an IR blaster, USB Type-C, 4 gigs of RAM, and I think at this price range, it's a real steal. Last on the list is the Tecno Camon 12. Not the Pro version, not the Camon 12, just Camon 12. I think it offers just the right specifications for the price point of 47,000 naira. Next, we have the 50 to 60,000 naira budget price range. There are lots of phones in this category, so in no particular order, the first on my list is the Redmi Note 8. I'm talking about the 3GB RAM configuration, which retails for 58,000 naira. And at that price, you get a 1080p display. Yes, it's 1080p. And the other phones I've mentioned so far have been 720p displays. You also get a Snapdragon 665 processor, amazing design and camera specifications, also with USB Type-C. My next pick would have been the Galaxy A20, but it's no longer in the market except you can find it. But since we don't have it, let's settle for the Samsung Galaxy A20s. If you are wondering, yes, I prefer the A20 over the A20s, especially for its AMOLED display. With that said, the A20s retails for 55,500 naira, and you get a Samsung device with nice build quality, 3GB of RAM, a Snapdragon 450 processor, a good camera, sadly a 720p LCD display, but that's alright. Next is the Infinix S5, Infinix's first phone with a hole punch display. It's a 2-megapixel front-facing camera, quad camera setup at the back, 4GB of RAM, 64GB of storage, among other amazing specifications. For the 60 to 17,000 naira price range, I only found two phones I can recommend. The first one is the Redmi Note 8. The 4GB 64GB storage option retails for 63,000 and the 4GB 128 storage option retails for 70,000 naira. The rest of the specs is the same as the 3GB version I mentioned earlier. The next is the Infinix Note 6. It has a 1080p AMOLED display, though it has an old notch design which makes it look a little old in design, but it's a powerful phone. It's a 65,000 naira phone with a stylus. It gives your phone that extra edge of productivity, and I'll say it's a good device at that price point if you don't mind the big notch design. For the 70 to 80,000 naira price range, we have the Xiaomi Mi A3. Is it Xiaomi? I wonder how it's pronounced, but whichever pronunciation works for you. We have a lot of Xiaomi phones featuring in this budget category, but they can't be overlooked. So the Xiaomi Mi A3 is an impressive device with 4GB of RAM, a 720p AMOLED display, Snapdragon 665 processor, and you can pick it up for 72,000 naira or 80,000 naira depending on what storage option you choose. And oh, it's Android One, Android 10 ready. The next on the list is Nokia 6.2. It's a 72,000 naira Android One phone with a 1080p LCD display, nice design, and a Snapdragon 636 processor, among other nice specifications, but a small 3,005 mAh battery. Since it's stock Android, maybe, just maybe it would be optimized well enough. Next on the list is the Huawei Y9 Prime 2019, which retails for about 78,000 naira. It has a full screen 1080p display, no notch, but a motorized pop-up camera, 4GB of RAM, 128GB of storage, Qualcomm Kirin 710F processor. Next, we have the Samsung Galaxy A30s. Great design, Super AMOLED 720p display, great camera specifications, 4,000 mAh battery, and a lot more specifications for the price of 79,500 naira. So for the 80 to 100k budget price range, let's call this the low budget, high-end price range. Xiaomi again. We have the Xiaomi Redmi Note 8 Pro at 6GB of RAM, 64GB of storage, or 128GB of storage, 64-megapixel main camera, 4,500 mAh battery. It retails for 83,000 or 90,000, depending on whatever your choice of storage is. We also have the Samsung Galaxy A50, one of the most purchased devices of 2019. It has 4GB of RAM, 128GB of storage, amazing camera specifications, under-display fingerprint scanner, 1080p Super AMOLED display, Exynos 9610 processor, fast charging, 4,000 mAh battery, and a lot more at 89,000 naira. Am I hyping this phone? Well, it's worth the price. Next, we have the Huawei Y9s for about 99,000 naira. You get 6 GB of RAM, 128 GB storage, 48 megapixel main camera, a 1080p LCD display, a Kirin 710F processor, same as in Y9 Prime 2019, full display with a motorized pop-up camera. Finally, we have the Nokia 7.2, the most expensive of the bunch at 100,000 naira. You get a 1080p LCD display, nice design, good camera configuration, Android One, Snapdragon 660 processor, 6 GB of RAM, 128 GB of storage, a small 3500 mAh battery. So that's all for my picks of the best phones you can buy under $275 right now. Which is your favorite? Which of them did I miss? Which of them do you think deserves a spot on this list and I failed to mention it? Please let me know in the comment section. If you find this video helpful, please also share it to your friends. I'll see you in the next one, guys. Peace.